So I have this story every time when we finish at an event, you know, it's late and we're all starving. So we go to a strip club to eat dinner.
Oh, really? Because it's open late. I've heard the boys do that.
And it has steaks. Usually it's like a steak. So like it's really good. It's really good food. And so I'd always call home to my husband. I'd be like, yeah, honey, you know, we're going to this strip club to eat. And he's like, how can we always go to strip clubs to eat? I'm like, well, it's like 10 o'clock. There's nothing else open. So we want to go to Denny's, and everybody wants to have like a steak dinner, you know?
With a dance.
And so he comes on the road with me for his first time, and I think we're like in Dothan, Alabama or something. And there's like no strip clubs there. There's no place to eat. And I think we went to like, you know, McDonald's or something. And as we're getting food, he's like, so I thought we'd go to strip clubs for dinner afterwards. And I was like, yeah, sorry, you know, I'm not here.
Yeah, that's the same thing with where we stay for hotels.
Okay.
And we'll
You listen to me, you go to the top. Don't listen to me, you're never heard from again.
Take an in-depth look at the greatest managers of all time. The men and women who carved the path to superstardom.
These guys really paved the way for everybody else that's been out there over the past 25 or 30 years.
The rule breakers we love to hate.
Somebody please hit that guy in the nose. Just shut him up.
And love to watch.
This is what a real woman is supposed to look like. I'm waiting for something bad to happen.
One time with Bailey and Sasha. You want to meet with them? Yes.
I'm waiting for something bad to happen.
One time with Bailey and Sasha. You want to meet with them? Yes.
WWE Breaking Ground. Watch.
Nothing means nothing.
Nothing means nothing. What do you mean by that?
More, I'm talking about
wine almost, you know, like 6 little bottles. And so she had some wine, and we get into bed. Somehow it's me, Toria, and Chloe in one bed, and Victoria has her own bed. And we're all tired. We eat and we go to sleep. And then all of a sudden I hear the bathtub filling up.
That's how I met her. It's almost similar to the first time I met her.
So the bathtub is filling up, and it's like whoosh, and we're like laying in bed. I'm like, okay, just go to sleep. Maybe she wants to take a bath. And then she gets in the bath, and I swear it sounds like she's surfing. It's like whoosh, her little bottle of wine. She's just like swish, swish, swish in the tub.
So funny.
And we're like, we're trying to sleep.
It was never a dull moment with
No.
her.
I actually remember we were going on an overseas tour, and they rented out a plane, so it was just us on the plane. And I'd never taken an Ambien. I was like, I'm going to take an Ambien. I'm going to sleep this whole flight. It was like 8 hours. You know, I'm going to get there. I'm going to wake up refreshed, you know, go work out, go to my match. Well, apparently it has the reverse effect on me. And I was up the entire time, partying with everybody, and apparently I had a glass of wine.
Oh, I remember
and I was talking to somebody, and then Taker was, sitting in his seat, and apparently I had dumped this wine on Taker, like the biggest no-no ever on
we
the
were
whole
together at this point.
planet,
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't even think I said sorry, like I remember like
You
none
might
of
clean that.
like none of this, and then I remember finally falling asleep for 30 minutes, and I wake up and I was like, what happened? Like things just felt weird. And I just remember walking up to him, his presence is just like, and I'm like, I think I spilled wine on you and I'm really sorry. And I think he knew I didn't obviously
Like you're out of
mean
it.
Yeah. So he's like, it's all right. But I was like, thank you. Note to self, I've never taken Ambien after that.
Anytime on demand.
Shut your stupid mouth while I'm talking!
We're counting down the top 10 whiniest,
What about me? What about Raven?
childish,
Somebody change this diaper. Powder his bottom.
and most obnoxious crybabies of all time.
That can walk away as NXT Women's Champion.
NXT. Tonight, 8/7 Central on WWE Network.
Throughout the 1990s, Monday night served as a primetime battlefield that transformed professional wrestling into sports entertainment. Ted Turner's WCW took on Vince McMahon's WWE for rating supremacy at the risk of extinction, as innovation and evolution paved the way for a king to be crowned.
Give me a round of applause right now!
Gifted with a unique combination of charisma and athleticism,
Oh, Jericho! How about that one?
but burdened with early frustrations and stigmas, one man was determined to persevere through it all.
Look at that sign. There are Jerichoholics.
And in an era of larger-than-life icons, Chris Jericho would carve out a place for himself as one of the biggest names in sports entertainment.
Welcome to Raw is Jericho!
This is the Monday Night War.
Hulk Hogan has betrayed WCW. What in it?
With a unique combination of charisma and athleticism,
Oh, Jericho! How about that one?
but burdened with early frustrations and stigmas, one man was determined to persevere through it all.
Look at that sign. There are Jerichoholics.
And in an era of larger-than-life icons, Chris Jericho would carve out a place for himself as one of the biggest names in sports entertainment.
Welcome to Raw is Jericho!
This is the Monday Night War.
Hulk Hogan has betrayed WCW. What in it? What's he doing here? Monday Night Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Brett Steam Brett.
The new world order, brother. Let's get this. We are at war. Hello, everybody, and happy 1996. We are coming to you live from Atlanta, GA, the home of the #1 wrestling program anywhere in the world. World Championship Wrestling, live, Nitro, TNT.
In early 1996, sports entertainment was in the midst of a renaissance. Ted Turner's World Championship Wrestling was battling long-standing industry leader Vince McMahon's WWE every Monday night in primetime. Raw and Nitro ran head-to-head, and as the competition intensified, the audience grew, with fans both new and old choosing sides.
To me, it was always about the WWE, because that's what I grew up watching. When I started in 1990, it was all about like kind of the big giant guys, you know, 6'8", 300-pound, 24-inch pythons. And when I first said that I wanted to get into wrestling, people were like, "Oh, you're too small." And I never really saw it that way. It's just like, well, I don't really agree. I'm just going to do it anyways. But then when I started going overseas, then size didn't matter. It was all about your performance.
Chris Jericho would hone his craft both internationally and in smaller domestic promotions, gaining valuable experience and a strong work ethic.
I saw him in Mexico. Then from there, he went to Japan, and he spent like 5-6 years learning the Japanese style. Chris Jericho's been everywhere.
You really had to want it to do these things and travel overseas. And then right away I realized that this is what I want to do. I'd rather be on the road for 8, 9, 10 months and not see my parents or my friends or whatever. But as long as I'm working every night doing what I love to do, then that's all that matters.
Chris is one of those guys who's very driven. Everything that he does, he puts 100% effort into it. And when he takes something on, he takes it to the fullest.
During February of 1996, Raw and Nitro were battling it out in front of millions of viewers each week. Meanwhile, Chris Jericho debuted in Extreme Championship Wrestling, a small regional promotion recognized as sports entertainment's up-and-coming alternative brand.
ECW was a different animal. They featured hardcore. They featured cruiserweights. Paul Heyman nurtured and developed this talent.
In ECW, I had talent scouts all over the world right there in my locker room. Anybody that had worked in Japan was putting in a good word for Chris Jericho. They all wanted to work with him. They all thought he would connect with our audience just like that.
Chris Jericho's style worked perfectly in ECW because ECW was bringing in international talent from Mexico and Japan, which featured the Japanese strong style and Mexican lucha libre, and anybody who could utilize the Japanese strong style or Mexican lucha libre was an instant hit with the original ECW audience, which Chris was.
The fans chanting Lionheart, Lionheart, solidly behind newcomer Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho, when he first came into ECW, he had amazing buzz about him. He had some great matches. I remember watching him do a top rope Frankensteiner against Too Cold Scorpio when he won the TV title. He fit in perfectly. And for the time that he was there, he had nothing but great matches.
Jericho with a great fan following here, despite only being in ECW for a few months.
I only worked there a total, I think, of 22 matches. But it was enough to really boost my whole profile.
By the summer of 1996, WCW Monday Nitro was distancing itself from Monday Night Raw in the cable television ratings, thanks in large part to the popularity of their villainous group of superstars, the New World Order. But complementing these rebellious main eventers was World Championship Wrestling's Cruiserweight division, an ensemble of high-flying entertainers from around the world, signed by WCW executive producer Eric Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff saw these guys, he saw them compete in ECW, he saw them internationally, and said, I want some of that. So he grabbed those guys, and he gave them a chance to wrestle for good money for WCW.
I think Eric took a chance of bringing a bunch of unknown cruiserweights and going out and having those guys have their own spotlight within the show. It was new, it was fresh, it was never done. And I thought, that was one of the main reasons why a lot of viewership was watching WCW at that point, because it was different.
Eddie the Frog
superstars here in WCW than anywhere on the planet.
I literally did everything that I could do to be different from the WWE.
Once the whole cruiserweight division started coming together in my mind, Chris Jericho was at the top of a very short list of guys that I really wanted to be a part of that cruiserweight division.
Jericho was the ECW World Television Champion, and he wrestled on a show in Los Angeles called the World Wrestling Peace Festival, and Eric Bischoff was going to be at the show. And I turned to my inner circle in ECW and said, we just lost Chris Jericho.
After years of performing overseas and in ECW, Chris Jericho signed with World Championship Wrestling and was about to get his first taste of cable television exposure on a live episode of Monday Nitro.
For me, it was awesome because I was in the big league.
The early 90s, a lot of wrestlers were kind of lame. And he seemed kind of lame.
NWO, we'll see who the better man is. What a wimp.
The shades had turned from white and black to this area of gray. And I was just left out in the cold in WCW with nothing.
Jericho's hung up on this match. he's just hung up here.
NWO were the bad guys that people loved. If you were in that no man's land of no push, no interview, no nothing, you were getting destroyed when you were up against the NWO. So it was a bad place to be. It was really not a good time because you were just kind of lost. You'd show up for TV every week having no purpose. Here's cheesy little Chris Jericho with long blonde hair trying to do some flips, and man, this guy's a loser. That was just a body, just a guy that was there.
By January of 1998, Monday Nitro was breaking ratings records, but Chris Jericho was lost in the shuffle of a talented roster. With his character in need of alterations, Jericho would finally get the villainous makeover he had been hoping for.
One day, Terry Taylor goes, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "What do you mean? You're going to turn heel?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, Lord." Like, hallelujah. Like, finally.
That's a television steel box. Toolbox drove it straight into the kneecap.
The best characters are your real persona turned up to 10.
I'm sorry.
And I'm sarcastic. I'm an antagonist. I can be a dick when I need to be. And especially in front of the crowd, I'm a ham.
Don't boo me. He hears him. Don't you boo me. All right. Let me give you a reason to boo. Come on. Oh, boo. Stop this. Come on, boo. Stop this. Let's boo.
I need to be me. You couldn't do that as in this box of being the white meat babyface, but to be a heel, I could do whatever I wanted, and I did.
This is the face that you people pay to see each and every week. As a matter of fact, 4 million Jerichoholics tune into Nitro to watch me every single week. And I talked to the WCW committee. I want the name of this show changed from WCW Monday Nitro to WCW Monday Jericho.
Now I can say whatever I wanted. Literally, because there was no filter. There was no rehearsals. There was nothing.
I talked with J.J. Dillon, and he's 83% sure they're going to change the name.
Instantly, I had a character, and instantly I had a reaction, which I never had before.
He knew how to grab people, pull them in, and do everything to irritate you as a fan.
Give me a round of applause right now!
He got under your skin. Everything he did, it got under your skin, which for a viewer, that's great.
Come on, baby!
The beauty of a guy like Chris Jericho was that he was a very intelligent guy. He annoyed you with his brilliance.
You know, everybody here knows that... Hey, Penzer, what's the name of this town? Everybody...
Chris Jericho was never supposed to be the star that he was. He did that on his own, but part of the reason he was able to do that was because he'd had a certain amount of freedom.
I would say, Eric, can I do a promo tonight? Yeah, just make sure it's short.
And of course, there's my future, which is so bright, I got to wear shades.
Jericho was athletic, he was entertaining, he was charismatic. He made Monday Night Nitro, Monday Night Jericho. And he wore the t-shirts, he had signs. He wanted to make sure that everyone knew who Chris Jericho was.
Look at that sign! There are Jerichoholics.
For the people that kind of understood what I was doing, suddenly I was the new genius on the block. And for the other 95% of the people that had no idea who I was like, who is this idiot making a fool of himself? We hate this guy.
Chris Jericho had begun to make a name for himself by tapping into his own personality. A rivalry with industry veteran Dean Malenko would further help Jericho stand out from the cruiserweight division.
You know, Dean, you let a lot of people down, a lot of people, including myself, down when you quit and went home after losing your match to me.
Chris is one of those guys, just has a lot of charisma. He's a very entertaining character.
The mannerisms of the Iceman, Dean Malenko. Sure, he's mocking Malenko. That's what he's doing.
That wasn't on TV, but he was talking about me, and we had a lot of fun with that, and we did a lot of different things that were never done before.
So, Dean, how does it feel to be the #2 wrestler in the entire world, next to myself, of course? Speak it to the mic, Dean.
Jericho was so great at just being annoying, being entertaining.
When I think of how you dedicated to your career, to your late father, one thing pops in my head. Your father must be rolling in his grave.
I mean, there was not anybody at home that couldn't be like, hey, I want Dean Malenko to kick his ass.
We were a perfect mesh for each other.
Over the top of the German release suplex.
In the ring, we had great matches, and then outside of the ring, he could just be serious Dean Malenko, and I could just be over-the-top Jericho, and people just hated me for it because they really respected him.
The Iceman, Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds.
Dean Malenko's whole thing was this stone-faced, no-nonsense guy.
Full arm drag twist and an arm whip takedown.
Jericho went above and beyond and was like, he's got 1,000 holds. I'm going to show him I got 1,004.
And I wrote them all down. Here we go. Hold 1. Arm drag.
Went through #2 and #3, which were much more complex submission holds. And then #4 again was
arm bar.
He just ran it.
#5, the Saskatchewan spinning nerve hold.
This must be meathead microphone night. You think so?
He's got 998 to go.
Get the hook. We're out of here. Shut up.
Matt Greenberg, you are in the building tonight.
He's at a UNICEF function.
No, my personal security guard saw. I know you're in the building tonight, Greenberg. And if you think you're so bad, I want you to come out one more time so I can teach you respect one more time and give all the Jerichoholics what they want. I will knock the hair right off your head, Turkey.
Chris Jericho went out there, made things entertaining, set up his own feud with Goldberg at the time just to get his name out there. He copied Goldberg's entrance, and he got a personal security guard, Ralphus, who wore a half-belly shirt.
He's basically mocking Goldberg. Jericho would just go from backstage like Goldberg would and go the wrong way and find himself outside of the entire arena.
Chris Jericho has been locked out of the building.
Jericho at every turn would find a way to get under Goldberg's skin, make fun of him, and just barely escape, knowing that one day there's gonna be that big payoff.
If nothing else, you wanted to see Chris Jericho get smashed by Goldberg, which would bring him into the next level.
No, young boy, this is your daddy calling you. Come on, Goldberg, come on. Okay, he's not in here. Hey, where's Goldberg?
Jericho seemed poised to enter the main event picture at WCW, but not everyone was in favor of the move.
I don't think Goldberg was too pleased about it. He didn't want nothing to do. He felt like that was going to bring his status down. Jericho was on top of his game at that point and was looking to create something new for the company.
He hated it. He hated every bit of it. Everyone did. Hogan did. Bischoff did. It was just something that I made good underneath the radar, and then once it got over, they tried to squash it, but I wouldn't let them.
I thought it was good. I mean, my problem with Jericho is that I think people wanted head-to-head matches, no interference, no screwed finishes, and then have someone like that come out on top with someone that weighed 300 pounds that could pick them up and throw them in the 10th row anytime they wanted to. Just didn't think there was much sense in that.
The question as to whether or not I saw Chris Jericho as a main eventer is probably one of the reasons that Chris and I went sideways for a little while. At the time, back in '98, when you look at the Hulk Hogans and the Randy Savages and the Kevin Nashes and the Bill Goldbergs, and the list went on and on and on. There were a lot of really big names of guys that really were true heavyweights and main eventers. I never really saw Chris at that time in that role.
WCW management may have viewed him as an average superstar, but Jericho saw a feud with Goldberg as his ticket to the top and would continue to mock the world champion.
We know that Goldberg is not here. Who are you trying to fool here this week? You know as well as I know Goldberg is here. So Greenberg, come out here and let me give you what all these Jerichoholics want me to give you, and that's a first-class butt whipping. Come on, Goldberg. The bell has sounded, and we're in the midst of a count here, guys.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell for what? Jericho thinks he's won the match from the Invisible Man.
Jericho had an agenda, but his agenda was always the same. He wanted to move up. And Bischoff wasn't behind him, and Goldberg wasn't behind it, and Jericho was sticking to his guns.
They weren't listening to me, and I wasn't listening to them, and that was how it was in WCW. So once you figured it out, it's like, once you realize that, hey, wait a second, I'm going nowhere anyways, all right, I'll just start not listening and do whatever I want.
Jericho had a groundswell of support, forcing World Championship Wrestling to begrudgingly go along with the story.
This is the confrontation we've been waiting for.
Yeah, man! Oh, did he take him out?
He speared him out of his boots.
However, as Nitro remained in a fierce ratings battle with Raw, WCW Creative had no long-term plans to showcase Jericho. His feud with Goldberg would fizzle, with his patience reaching a breaking point.
If there's 10,000 Chris Jericho signs, then Chris Jericho must be doing something right. And there was a ton of Jericho Goldberg signs. We had a legitimate money-making angle, at least I thought. at least enough to do a pay-per-view with it, and they would never do it. They kept fighting it and fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, and then it just ended up petering out with no payoff. If that isn't enough to make them realize that I can contribute at a high level and make some money here for these guys, then nothing will. And that's when I started putting my sights on WWE for real.
I remember Jericho being head and shoulders above everybody on Nitro for like a long time. It was evident that he was a WWE guy living in a WCW world, you know, and it was a matter of time.
By the beginning of 1999, Monday Night Raw had overtaken Monday Nitro in the ratings, with WWE in the midst of a 3-month winning streak over World Championship Wrestling.
WWE could do no wrong. Selling out buildings no matter what. I mean, when they go on sale, they're sold out literally in 2-3 minutes.
WWE was putting on great shows. Raw was just super hot at the time, even hotter than Nitro.
Everybody was a player and everybody had to carry the ball. That's the only way you're going to do those kind of numbers, where you've got 11 segments and nobody can turn off one of them.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
I know that I got to get out of here and go to a place where everybody has a story, everyone has a character. You got a chance to make it or break it. I called Vince Russo. He arranged for me to fly to Vince McMahon's house. WWE got a ticket for me. My name was like Mr. Stevenson. I go through the airport and I land, and there's a limo driver holding a sign that said Mr. Stevenson. So it's like, okay, as I'm Mr. Stevenson, go in the car, drive all the way to Stamford, and go to Vince's house.
Chris Jericho came to me and got on all fours and begged me, to join WWE. This is not exactly what happened. I'd like to think that. Chris contacted us, so we met.
I'm a contracted employee of WCW, mind you. And here I am going to Vince McMahon's house. Knock on the door, Shane McMahon answers. Hello, I'm Chris Jericho. Yeah, we know you are coming in. I go inside, and there's a big table, and everybody's sitting at the table. They're having a meeting. And here I am, 27-year-old kid who works for WCW, and I'm sitting in on a Raw meeting. Vince is at his most engaging and hello, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. Someone said an idea about the show. Chris, what do you think about that? I'm like, it sounds great, Vince. But he never once said, we want you to come work here. He was very smart. Like, anything he said could not be used against him in a court of law.
You want to make sure you do it the right way. You have to get around a contractual obligation and interference, torturous interference with existing contract, as they say. But I was very happy to have Chris.
Chris was a man about it, and he let me know that it was his desire to leave. I wasn't willing to offer up the farm. I wasn't willing to compromise.
Jericho made his intentions to jump to WWE clear. But with 6 months left on his contract, he faced a half year of limbo in World Championship Wrestling.
I didn't really even sit out. What happened was I got hurt. By the grace of God, was actually out for 2 months. When I was ready to come back, Bischoff was like, you're not going to resign, then you're punished. His way of punishing me was just taking me off TV, still letting me work house shows, and still paying me my full salary. So, boy, the joke sure was on me, right?
I was sorry to see Chris leave, but I also understood. It was a ripe opportunity for him in WWE.
Jericho was WWE bound, and he quickly turned his attention to creating a memorable debut.
When I was at the post office waiting in line, and I was looking at this millennium clock countdown to the new millennium, I was like, oh, that's cool. And like, that'd be a cool way for someone to come into the WWE. That'd be a cool way for me to come into the WWE. So I called Vince Russo and kind of told him this idea that I had, and he told it to Vince, and Vince loved it, and that's kind of how it all started.
The countdown to the Millennium Clock began to appear on Monday Night Raw. as WWE played off the world's concern for the Y2K crisis.
And I remember it was kind of cool because the countdown would just show up weekly on the show. It was close to the millennium, and of course everyone was talking about the Y2K thing. The timing of it was perfect.
It just fed into the angst of America at that time. We were all afraid of this oncoming millennium that we didn't know if the computers were going to stop, and so he jumped on that.
I was still technically under contract at WCW when these vignettes started running, which I was scared to death. I'm going to get sued. About a week or 2 weeks before, Russo called me and said, okay, the clock is going to end in the middle of The Rock's promo. I was like, The Rock? Really? He was huge. So, have this new guy with this kind of intriguing idea interrupt the biggest star in the business at the time. It was genius.
Anticipation was building as the countdown to the millennium was reaching its end, and Chris Jericho's lifelong dream was about to come true.
The Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois is sold out. The buzz in this arena is extraordinary, and we have all the ingredients here tonight for a classic WWF Raw.
So here you got a guy coming in, gets a big build-up, big countdown clock, nobody knows what it is. To get Jericho noticed, you want to get him associated with as big a star as you can. The Rock was red hot. He was the man at the time.
I'll never forget, they asked him if he wanted to do this, if he wanted to go toe-to-toe with Rock, and he's like, heck yeah, I'll do it. I'd love to. That's how I'm going to make my name in this business.
And go on and check your big fat ass directly into the SmackDown Hotel.
When I was waiting for that clock to hit 0, I was just saying, you know what, like, this is it. This is my one chance. There is no second chance. I've been waiting 9 years for this. It doesn't matter anything that I've done before this moment, any championships that I won, any classic matches that I've had. None of it means a damn thing right now. I have to go out there and I have to kill this.
We're counting down 3, 2, we're counting it now.
Break the walls down hits, which no one had ever heard at the time. People were like, oh yeah, we think it's him, we're still not sure. And then when it flipped over to Jericho, we had this amazing reaction. This is what I wanted to do since I was about 12, to be in the WWE. That's all that mattered to me. All of these other places that I worked were just stepping stones to end up working for Vince McMahon. That was what I wanted.
Welcome to Raw is Jericho!
Place went crazy. Within the first 10 seconds of appearing on screen, he was already a bigger star in WWE, and then he was the entire time he was in WCW.
And I am the new millennium for the World Wrestling Federation.
I remember thinking how cool it was that he got that kind of reaction because he was somebody that I loved in WCW. And here he was coming out, and they were treating him right away as somebody special.
You people have been led to believe that mediocrity is excellence. Jericho is excellence.
Chris Jericho was a great free agent coming over from WCW, and he made one of the most memorable entrances in the history of the WWE, where he came out and he interrupted me, and that was a great launching point for him.
How dare you, little jabroni, come on The Rock show and not even have the class to introduce yourself? What is your name?
I told you.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Chris Jericho made the right move. He went toe-to-toe verbally with The Rock. At that time, there was no bigger superstar in the WWE than The Rock.
Arguably one of the greatest introductions to the WWE ever. It put Jericho up on top. Whenever you're going against The Rock on the mic in a verbal battle, you're put at the top. And that's where they put Jericho, right on his debut.
When you talk about that era, that night will stand up there in the top 3 or 4 moments in the history of WWE.
And now that the Y2J problem is here, this company, from the front office to all the amateurs in the dressing room, including this one, to everybody watching tonight, will never, ever be the same again.
Jericho's debut was not lost on his friends down south, who witnessed their former comrade hold his own in WWE.
We had Nitro going on the same night, and without letting management see, we all got in a separate room, had to turn the TV on. I think we even had somebody at the door actually case in the hallway, make sure nobody caught us. The scene was very much like a prison scene, so to speak, where there's one of our inmates that kind of got out, and he's free. We were happy for Chris, because we saw something in Chris that I don't think WCW played out to the fullest.
All my hard work paid off, and I made it. Here I am in the WWE. The moment of that reveal is still one of the best moments of my career, for sure.
Jericho made a remarkable first impression. But the pressure was now on the newcomer to show what he could do for an encore.
That was one of the greatest debuts in the history of this industry. But there was a lot of curious minds. Is he going to be able to do it here? Will Chris Jericho be able to play ball with the big boys?
Not a knock on WCW. This is now the big leagues. And to debut against The Rock, Vince has done his part to make you a star. Now it's on you.
However, the hungry superstar's early career in WWE was anything but a success.
There was a real war between WCW and WWE between the guys. So when I came to the WWE, I was not liked, because I was coming from enemy territory. Oh, this guy's a WCW guy. You know, screw this guy.
I don't know who you are or who you think you are, but judging from that peach fuzz you're trying to grow on your chin, I can tell I got more shower time than you've got ring time.
It wasn't, hey, glad you're here, welcome to WWE. There was none of that horse. There was silence. You'd walk into a locker room and guys would stop talking.
I really didn't fit in at first. I was kind of a lone wolf, and I think the fact that I came in from WCW, there's a lot of people waiting for me to fail when I first came in, and quite frankly, I kind of gave them what they wanted. And there was a different style in the WWE. The matches I were having were not good. I had no idea what I was trying to do.
And Jericho had a stutter step there, walked right into a hip toss.
After a week or two, I was already branded, this guy sucks, he's bad.
It's hard to get into the WWE system. It takes a while to understand how we do TV as compared to how WCW did TV. There's always that adaptation period.
I remember I was sitting in Cleveland at the pay-per-view where the Hardys and Edge and Christian tore the house down with the ladder match.
Jeff, look at that! Leapfrog the ladder, for God's sakes, and drop the leg, the huge ladder drop.
And I wasn't on the show. 2 months ago, I was doing this dueling promo with The Rock, and now I'm sitting here a healthy scratch. I hadn't really been given much of a chance, and the chances I had been given, I didn't respond. I didn't live up to the hype. It's like getting, body shots from Mike Tyson. It's like bam, 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 bam. Hold on. You need a second to regroup before you can start fighting back a bit. And that's what I had to do. It took some time.
Even though Chris Jericho was struggling to adapt to his new role in WWE, Monday Night Raw itself was lengthening its ratings lead over Monday Nitro. The backstage politics at WCW led to the continued deterioration of the company.
There were too many chiefs and not enough Indians. You get somebody like Nash with creative control and somebody like Hogan with creative control, and neither one of them want to do business with each other. Where do you go then? Who loses? Company loses.
Nash can't be the only one screwing with WCW programming.
What do you got in mind, Scotty?
You know, you could have all the bells and whistles in the world. I have these guys that are familiar to the audience, but they're not really doing anything.
Oh, look, you gotta take this thing serious, man.
I am taking it seriously. And no matter how you look at it, hey, we got it in the bag, man.
It's knowing what you're doing and having the passion to do it, to understand that before you have good storylines, you have to have good characters. It's all about giving the right environment for those talents to grow.
By the end of 1999, Chris Jericho was finding his footing in WWE, winning the Intercontinental Championship, and once again becoming a favorite amongst the sports entertainment audience.
He came in with very high expectations. He was scaled back almost immediately, and he eventually got his confidence back to the point where fans were ready to accept Chris Jericho.
Well, he could get under the crowd's skin. You know, he could cut that heel promo and have everyone wanting to see him get his ass kicked. But you flip-flop that, and the fans would respect him all the same.
Welcome to Raw is Jericho!
Working with Stephanie was the first chance I had to really be Chris Jericho. That's what took me to the next level.
From the campus of Big State University and the sold-out Bryce Jordan Center, we are on our way to Backlash. Hello again, everyone. I'm Jim Ross, alongside Jerry the King Lawler, and we welcome you to WWF Raw. And King, we're kicking off tonight's broadcast with a huge one-on-one encounter. Chris Jericho against the Game, Triple H.
It was a good 4 or 5 months before I finally proved myself that I was at least worthy of having a match with a champion. Because Triple H was the top of his game, work-wise, personality-wise, character-wise. All this work that I've been doing, someone had noticed and said, we got to give this guy another chance.
How valiant and touching it is, Triple H, that you've come down for the honor of your wife. I mean, that's really touching. But I think if you think she's really special, I think you should put that title on the line. I think you should make this match tonight for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. No, wait a minute. This is for Stephanie. That's all. What are you doing? You want a shot at this? You want this? You're on. Come on. Here we go.
Chris Jericho's climb up the WWE ranks would be reinforced with a shocking victory on Monday Night Raw.
Jericho got everything to gain here and nothing to lose in this impromptu matchup from the WWF title.
You're like rooting for him the whole way. Sometimes people interfere, and I was just waiting for one of, Triple H's bad guy buddies to interfere or something. But he gets a 3 count and becomes the champion.
I was literally in shock when I saw Jericho get his hand raised, and I think it solidified him in the fans' eyes as a main eventer.
Chris Jericho winning a championship is a moment where you think it can be done. If you are entertaining enough and you are skilled enough, you'll get a chance at greatness.
He had such character to him and was so captivating that he's going to get there eventually. He's going to find a way. I'm not just going to be pigeonholed in this little category. And he kind of never was after that.
I was just excited as I was disappointed when he had to give it back. Triple H bullied the referee to make it say it was a fast count.
Then you go back there right now and you get my World Wrestling Federation Championship belt from around the waist of that sawed-off midget, Chris Jericho.
The whole storyline was explained to me, and later on you have to give the title back. And I was like, oh, I mean, hey, it's better than nothing. And I even went and asked Vince about it. I'm like, so I'm supposed to win and then just give the title back? He's like, well, he goes, well, it's all across the storyline. I said, don't worry, you'll have it again. Kind of as an aside, and I was like, what did you say?
Jericho has relinquished the WWF title.
Even though the decision was reversed, the ovation Jericho got for beating Triple H was eye-opening. It showed that Jericho was a bigger star in the eyes of the fans than some perceived.
That jumped Jericho immediately into the status of the main event players. That's the one thing about our audience. They always want a new guy to break through the glass ceiling. And everybody that night felt that they saw that career-defining moment for Chris Jericho.
With another main event player in the fold, Raw continued to dominate Nitro during the year that followed. The Monday Night War would come to a shocking conclusion in March of 2001 with Vince McMahon's purchase of World Championship Wrestling.
I have acquired WCW. That's right, I bought my competition.
I would tell anybody, Hulk Hogan or Nash or Hall, it was just as much my input as it was theirs as to why that company was so successful. And the misusage of guys like me that started the downfall.
What should I do with WCW?
Former World Championship Wrestling superstars would become a part of WWE programming. So too with the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Vince McMahon would capitalize on the opportunity to make sports entertainment history and unify the industry's 2 most important titles. But the question remained, who would be crowned the modern era's first undisputed champion? Idea in the furthest recesses of my mind that I was actually going to win, but I didn't care. Like, just to be included in that was like, that's pretty cool. Like, top 4 guys, that's not too bad.
Rock Jericho matchup.
For a company to have enough faith in you to hold both titles and make them one, you have to be the best.
Years of grit, hard work, and determination were about to pay off for Chris Jericho.
And when you looked at the people that were in that situation, wouldn't Jericho have been the last guy you'd pick?
Really well done, the setup of it, and it was such a surprise because nobody expected it.
And here we go, immediately now. Right is the undisputed championship match.
But in order to make history, Chris Jericho would have to defeat WWE's two biggest stars of the Monday Night War.
It was Jericho's time. He was the right guy for it. They went all the way with Chris Jericho. It was a smart move to make at the time.
My God, I don't believe this. Jericho's got a leg hook. My God, don't tell me this. My God, it can't be happening. I call him Murray. Jericho has done it. The winner of this
just goes to show you exactly how good Chris Jericho is, because these are the top two guys. These are the top two guys of the entire Attitude Era.
Chris had always been a star, but never been the guy. They obviously saw something in him here that he would be the guy that could carry the company. And they gave him the keys to the car, and he drove it magnificently.
I know it meant a lot to Jericho. Once again, it is an instance where it shows the company believes so strongly in this guy. He beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night and became the first unified champion.
He's the only human on the face of the earth that's going to be able to walk around and say he was the first undisputed champion in the history of pro wrestling, and that's covering a lot of ground.
When I think of Chris Jericho, the image I will forever have in my mind is him holding both titles up, and that's a very iconic image.
Is the first one ever. No one can ever take that away. And to be the undisputed champion, beat The Rock and Steve Austin on the same night. I mean, to this day, people still talk about it. So it's a monumental moment in the business. And when I die, it's probably going to be on my WWE gravestone, so to speak. First undisputed champion, Chris Jericho. He tried hard.
Chris Jericho's coronation with the industry's top prize was a fitting achievement for a superstar who defied the odds and made an indelible mark on both WWE and WCW during sports entertainment's greatest era.
When he went to WWE, they started making him a star, and he rose to the challenge and delivered that star quality.
Welcome to Raw is Jericho.
Chris has got a chip on his shoulder. Win, lose, or draw, he wants to be respected.
No matter if he was the champion or if he was in a match with a mid-card guy, he would always go about it in a manner that he wanted to steal the show.
What makes Jericho special is he has no fear. He doesn't fear failure. If he feels something truly in his heart, if he believes it, he goes out and makes it happen.
If there was a secret weapon to winning the Monday Night Wars, I think Chris Jericho was definitely that secret weapon and gave Monday Night Raw the overall edge.
My legacy is that I was one of the guys that made that show worth watching. I'm very proud of the career that I've had and all the places that it's taken me. I wouldn't change anything about the way my career has gone.
Monday Night War. Watch anytime on demand, only on WWE Network.
The Royal Rumble, a WWE tradition since 1988. As we head into the 30th anniversary of the Royal Rumble, 840 competitors have succumbed to elimination. A record 43 of those men have been eliminated by the Big Red Machine, Kane.
Kane is cleaning house. Kane is dominant.
46 WWE Hall of Famers have entered the Rumble over the years, but only 9 can say they have won it. 12, the number of superstars eliminated by Roman Reigns, setting the record for the most eliminations in a Royal Rumble match. We've seen an ultimate underdog last a record 62 minutes and 12 seconds, while we've seen others literally vanish in the blink of an eye. The Rumble. It's intense.
Look at this! Are you kidding me? He saved himself!
Emotional.
John Cena! Number 30!
Unpredictable.
This arena is shaking!
Each year, the spectacle grows. And in 2017, the 30th anniversary of the Royal Rumble returns to the Alamo Dome.
Welcome everyone! 1997 Royal Rumble!
It's been 20 years since the Royal Rumble invaded San Antonio. The last time in 1997, when 60,477 members of the WWE Universe packed the Alamo Dome to set a Royal Rumble attendance record. A moment which saw the Texas Rattlesnake win his first of a record-setting 3 Royal Rumble matches. And now, 20 years later, the Royal Rumble has never been bigger.
Welcome to the road to WrestleMania! It's been a long time coming, 100 miles and running. I done made it from the gutter, now I gotta prove something. My city is impatient, forever we've been waiting for someone to make way, and I done broke through the pavement. This is gonna be the biggest Rumble in history! It is my absolute destiny to be in control.
You never know what's going to happen in WWE. Timing is everything.
There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that I won't.
I want blood. You both have equal say, and you both are running Monday Night Raw. I came back to ensure the future. This is definitely the time, and this is definitely the place. I'm gonna let it all loose.
These superstars, we're going to be on the floor, helping customers as best we can. Won't be.
You need some help finding anything, sir?
All the cock.
Cock. Yeah, I got plenty of cock.
Employees of the month.
Today is drop it down for a discount. Somebody get this out of my shoulder.
Swerved. Watch anytime on demand. Only on WWE Network.
Steve Austin's time has come. Steve Austin does what he wants, when he wants. Give me a hell yeah. Oh, he's a rattlesnake, all right. Austin's raising hell. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
You're watching WWE Network.
Neville, where you at? We ain't gotta wait till this Sunday. Come on out here. Swan challenging Neville, the self-proclaimed king of the cruiserweights. Swan just begging for Neville. Wants retribution. And Swan not gonna let Neville walk away. And Rich Swan off the suicide dive now hammering away at Neville. Rich Swan like a man possessed. Swan is tired of the constant attacks by Neville. And now it's Neville trying to retreat from Swan. Swan will defend the WWE Cruiserweight Championship against the self-proclaimed king of the cruiserweights, Neville, at the Royal Rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, Neville. Neville, last night on Raw, Rich Swann appeared to get the better of you. Are you concerned at all that Rich Swann is gaining momentum heading towards your WWE Cruiserweight Championship match this Sunday at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view?
Is that what you think, Tom, huh? Rich Swann is resilient, but I think maybe he lacks a little bit of common sense. Last night was my fault. I made the mistake of thinking that Rich Swann had learned his place. And perhaps, Tom, perhaps I showed him a little bit too much mercy. But I will not make that mistake twice, and I guarantee to you, at Royal Rumble, I will not show Rich Swann any mercy.
Before we get to the Alamo Dome tonight, you have a match against Cedric Alexander.
You see, Tom, this one I'm really looking forward to. I don't want there to be any doubt in anybody's mind that 205 Live belongs to me. And tonight, Cedric Alexander will learn that firsthand when he is forced to kneel and pay respect to the king of the cruiserweights.
Strap yourself in and get ready to enjoy the frenetic ride that is 205 Live, the most exciting program on television as we welcome you here on the WWE Network. I'm Mauro Ranallo, joined by Austin Aries and the savior of misbehavior, Mr. Corey Graves. And guys, what a program we have in store for the fans, just 5 days away from the 30th annual Royal Rumble event, where Neville will challenge Rich Swann for the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, the self-proclaimed king of the cruiserweights, Neville, in action tonight.
Sunday will be Neville's opportunity to claim the throne, but he has a monstrous obstacle standing in his way tonight in the form of Cedric Alexander. Cedric has continued to build momentum in the cruiserweight division. He could put a stop to Neville's rise to the top tonight.
Now, I'm not going to ask you for any strategy because I know
the answer, the thumb in the eye, but Cedric Alexander, who really made his bones in the inaugural Cruiserweight Classic, a huge opportunity for him to knock off Neville and hold some of his momentum ahead.
Absolutely, Mar. It's a huge opportunity to rip off one of your awful jokes tonight. Holy Toledo, it's going to be a huge night.
Is that because we're in Toledo?
I don't know, it was your dumb joke. Is that why?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, TJ Perkins.
Morrow, get your cell phone out. This is your opportunity to reclaim the throne as king of the retweets because TJ Perkins is going to be busy in action. Hey, the mayor of Retweet City is right here at TJ Perkins. You can't fault the guy for interacting with the WWE Universe on social media. The inaugural Cruiserweight Classic winner, a former WWE Cruiserweight champion. Hey, a lot of people are down with TJP.
Oh, you think so, Morrow? No coincidence I talk about dumb jokes and out comes TJP, huh? Now here's someone, the premier athlete, Tony Nese, who's been building up a lot of momentum.
From Long Island, New York.
No jokes to be made about Tony Nese. The premier athlete is as legit as they come when it comes to the Cruiserweight division. Riding a wave of momentum, securing a hard-fought victory over Mustafa Ali last week on 205 Live, and now has his focus set on TJ Perkins.
Yeah, listen, Tony Nese has all the tools to be a huge superstar in the WWE. He just needs to put it all together. He's starting to do that. And I tell you what, that German suplex into the turnbuckles he hit last week on Mustafa Ali, that could be a game changer for him.
Of course, Mustafa Ali did gain a modicum of revenge, picking up the win in that six-man tag team match on Raw last night, Corey.
Last night, any match in the Cruiserweight division, whether it be on Monday Night Raw or 205 Live, anything and everything will happen.
So an interesting clash of styles to kick things off here on 205 Live. TJ Perkins, who started training at the age of 13 against the 11-year veteran Tony Nese. The size, but also the quickness of Nese.
I don't think anybody in the WWE Universe can disagree. Tony Nese is one of the most physically blessed athletes on the roster.
Meanwhile, TJ Perkins, known for his innovative offense. There's a waistlock takedown by Nese, though, keeping the high flyer grounded momentarily.
Also known for bad haircuts. Something you know about, Morrow. Yeah.
Back up to his feet, it's TJ Perkins.
Cat-like agility from Perkins.
Baseball slide. Again, high pace to start things, and the shoulders are down. I was going to say, this fast pace, one would think would behoove TJ Perkins.
Generally, I would agree with you, Morrow, but when someone is as quick as Tony Nese, I don't think that applies tonight. You heard Tony Nese say time and time again, he hits like a heavyweight and moves like a cruiserweight.
Step up in the corner by Perkins, comes off the ropes.
He's stuck.
Avoiding the
some mind games
attack of Tony Nese. Oh, the octopus being employed by TJ Perkins.
In the dead center of the ring.
Popularized by WWE Hall of Famer Antonio Inoki, and TJ Perkins spent time in the land of the rising sun. Shoulders down.
You know, we're talking what an important matchup this is for Tony Nese as he building momentum, but you got to feel TJP feels like he needs to get back on track. He was the first WWE Cruiserweight champion, and he's kind of fallen off set. So if he can pick up this victory, might get him back on the track that he needs to be on.
Great ring awareness and power displayed by Nice, holding on to the top rope, avoiding the neck breaker, and running through TJ Perkins.
With that elbow, lateral press by Nice, and Perkins able to power out, still feeling the effects of that shot by Nice with the elbow.
Let's take one more look. Pay attention to the impact. Bang. The elbow of Nice right on the jaw of TJ Perkins. Austin, I got to be honest with you. I'd love to see what would go down if you were in the ring with either of these two superstars.
Well, I mean, I think we all know what would happen, Corey. I would beat them, and I probably wouldn't even put my thumb in their eye.
Back first into the corner goes TJ Perkins. And that's the strength, the momentum of the premier athlete, Tony Nice, on display.
Take a moment to appreciate the physique of Tony Nice. It's fit for Roman sculpture, Ronaldo.
Oh,
my God.
That showed.
Perkins looking to clean Nice's clock with that kick. Tornado DDT blocked by Nice.
Incredible power.
Wow.
Look at that.
Turns it into a vertical suplex, lateral press, hooks the leg, and man, Tony Nice just one step ahead of TJ Perkins.
Game-changing power is exactly what Nice possesses. Not to mention a mean streak, second only to maybe Neville.
We will see Neville in action later tonight. A huge matchup against Cedric Alexander just 5 days before Neville challenges Rich Swann for the Cruiserweight Championship. Tony Nice would love to get into that conversation. And a big win over TJ Perkins would definitely move him up the rung.
You see right now, he's just controlling the pace. Really, since he turned the tide, he's been all over TJ, pretty much doing whatever he wants to him.
Austin, what do you think about the strategy right now of Nice to slow down the pace? We know Nice can hang at a fast pace, but you think this is a good way to beat TJ Perkins?
Well, yeah, because he's going to make TJ expend energy just to get back to his feet.
Oh, there's the quickness. Absolutely sudden.
Nice showing off his athleticism with that cabrada. Lateral press hooks the leg, and TJ Perkins again powers out, but just barely.
Nice can't get frustrated here. He's in solid control, but let's take another look at the athleticism. Beautiful, picture-perfect springboard moonsault right on target.
That's why he's the premier athlete, Corey.
Couldn't agree with you
Maneuvers just like that. And now look at this. Just bending those arms back, tearing those shoulders out of the socket.
Grinding away at the former Cruiserweight champion, TJ Perkins.
Yeah, if TJ doesn't get himself up out of this position right here, get himself back on his feet, create some space, get back to using that quickness that he was using earlier, this match could be over pretty quickly here.
Nice digging the kneecap into the spine of TJ Perkins. Perkins fighting his way back up to a vertical base, trying to power out and using his resourcefulness to escape. Because when it comes to power, the strength advantage would lie with Tony Nice, but TJ Perkins doing whatever's necessary.
Yeah, I don't know how much it's going to hurt Tony Nice to kick him in the abs like that. Look at those things.
TJ looking to use some high-risk offense, but anytime you're on the top rope, things can go awry. What a kick. And the catch.
Oh, and into the gut buster by Nice. Lateral press hooks the leg. And Nice almost puts away TJ Perkins.
Tony Nice is like a one-man special teams unit tonight.
Now, looks like he's getting a little frustrated, Corey, now, as you were saying earlier.
Oh, employing the body scissors, putting the squeeze like a boa constrictor on TJ Perkins.
Right in the center of the ring. TJ Perkins is going to have to use maybe his technical ability, figure out a way out of this body lock.
And while Nice is expending energy employing the body scissors, TJ Perkins being sapped of his strength.
I would say Nice is exerting minimal energy right now. Now you can notice he's catching his breath while he's still putting the squeeze on. It's a great strategy. Nice can stay as fresh as possible while still inflicting punishment.
Tell you what, I've been in those body scissors. It's hard just to catch your breath, much less start to fight yourself out and get back to your feet.
Seated full Nelson by Nice. Arm drag escape by Perkins. Oh, spinning back kick. Catches Tony Nice on the button.
Good, TJ.
Yeah, that was the maneuver TJP needed.
Let's take another look back if we could. The quickness which Perkins can nail a precision kick right on the jaw could change the entire complexion of things.
And yet Nice quick to recover. Oh, a knee strike to the head by Perkins, and he's showing off his lightning quick offense. Basement drop kick by Perkins on Nice. Wow.
I think this is what Nice wanted to avoid, allowing TJ Perkins to build momentum, pick up the pace of the match to this point.
Nation kick by TJ Perkins, and that sends Nice to the outside.
I don't know if it was intentional on behalf of Nice, but that could have been the best case scenario for Tony.
Absolutely, Corey. I was thinking the same thing. But
will this
could
be
turn
the best case scenario? Oh! Nice explodes with a lariat.
There's that quickness of Tony Nice coming into play.
The ability to close distance, second to none from Tony Nice.
Well, second to me, Corey, but only me.
I look forward to the day you prove that to be true, Austin.
What a collision and what a competitive confrontation to kick off 205 Live, the most exciting hour on television.
Tony looking at, he was looking at the turnbuckle there.
Straw into the rolling crucifix. And TJ Perkins.
What an upset. I mean,
here's your winner, TJ Perkins.
I don't know that I agree with it as an upset, but definitely from out of nowhere.
Oh,
but there it is.
Nice with the German suplex into the turnbuckle. I think that moment of hesitation cost him, Corey.
I think Austin mentioned it. That's what Nice had in mind before the pinfall. Unfortunately, he won't get the winner's purse.
Knee!
But a knee right to the jaw of TJ Perkins.
I won that match. I won that match.
Yeah.
Right here.
You won the match.
The premier athlete, Tony Nice, pleading his case that he won the match.
The record books will not reflect Nice's opinion, but you can't argue. Nice, as the last man standing, made an emphatic statement.
I don't know if you look at the two combatants right now, who do you think won the match? One guy's walking out here in his own power, the other guy's got referees coming in looking at him.
Look at this. After the match, after TJ Perkins was victorious, watch the impact. Tony Nice with a full head of steam. A knee strike that would make Semtex blush, Morrow. Let's take another look at the German suplex. Watch Perkins' neck. Launched full speed into the turnbuckle. There is no forgiveness. Solid steel. Perkins might be seriously hurt. He still hasn't moved.
My pushy mom managers coming out again.
Colette wanting to be in charge of Noelle's image strikes me as misguided at most and just nincompoopish.
It starts with a single little thought. This is a bodysuit. It's one piece and it's stretch and it would be sequins. that quickly branches out to this vision. Go, Noel. Mother knows best.
Is she gonna be okay with you doing all this?
There's no stopping me. Now I have one more thing for you. I want you to open it up. Isn't that beautiful?
And you did this?
Yes, of course.
What my mom is doing for me is very sweet, but it's not exactly my taste, and I definitely don't see myself wearing that.
And this is just the beginning. A lot more to come.
So, who bought Colette a bedazzler? Well, it wasn't me unless she took mine from second grade.
As I'm watching that, I'm thinking, like, who would have thought when I was Cactus Jack wrestling in barbed wire and Mankind being thrown off the cell that I wasn't even the crazy Foley. You know, like, my wife is out of her mind. Like
She is. She's a crazy one.
But her intentions are good.
Yeah.
Her intentions are very good. I think that maybe she needs to take a vacation with Frank.
Oh, that'd be weird, Dad. What do you
Get them out of there. Let us concentrate on getting Noelle, making Noelle the best that she can be.
Well, luckily, when Mother doesn't always know best, there were a cast of pretty familiar faces willing to help Noelle with her journey to becoming a WWE superstar.
Feel the Bray! Okay, I'm not comfortable with that phraseology.
You can't teach that.
Oh, God.
You want to come back at the realest guy in the room?
I felt like a deer caught in headlights.
No matter what, always show that you have the heart.
Getting ready for your match?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch it on first, so.
Of course, I'm gonna watch it.
He's hitting on my daughter.
You don't get credit most of the time for anything.
Yeah,
And
which is gonna really sting.
Charlotte says I'm going to have to work even harder because of my last name.
The only person who's going to understand what I'm going through is the Nature Boy.
Yo, I've been through it.
Ow! The more moves I know, the better. Oh, God. Ow, ow, ow. My back is like crack 5 times. Not fun.
You do have a dark side.
Yeah, I do.
I like
You
it.
burned yourself.
How do you...
So we saw Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch giving you some training in the ring. We saw Enzo Amore giving you some advice on promos. Who wasn't there to help you out?
Yeah, everyone was there. It was from training tips, promo tips, life tips. They really helped me out.
Yeah, and there wasn't one person who was like, I don't know. Like, they were all in. They really enjoyed it. And they were a huge help to the show.
Is there anything that stands out that you think about more frequently than just inside the ring that you learned?
Well, Charlotte was saying that you're never, like, everyone's just gonna pretty much look at your dad and be like, you got here because of them, which is gonna stink because you have to work even harder.
To create your own legacy.
Yes.
Luckily, the WWE Universe is going to get to see your learning experience on the final 5 episodes of the first season of Holy Foley. But that's not all they're going to see. Let's take a look at what else we got.
Boom! No. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I changed my mind. I can't do it.
Where are you going? Come on. You can't teach that.
Hey, how are you? Lighten up on the hog, doll.
To get you to NXT would be the goal.
I need to make it to NXT to become a WWE superstar.
You may go in there and the first day we might cut you.
Wow.
You need to dedicate your time to training. And you're not ready.
Bring those knees up. Bring those knees up.
My dad was right. I have to start working a lot harder.
I need to focus on myself. Maybe you shouldn't be here.
I am taking the Foley family to one of our favorite places on earth, Knoebels Grove Amusement Park. I've never been so happy on my birthday.
Hi.
Hey, Dewey, how you doing?
I actually have a performance review coming up.
Ooh, pressure on 2 of the Foley children.
I'm committed 100%. Nothing get in my way.
Yeah, there you go.
Of becoming a WWE superstar. This is by far the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Mark Carano with those harsh words. You could get cut on the first day.
I was like, what?
Oh, he's the optimist. That
Oh my
Carano.
gosh.
Yes.
Well, it seems like a lot of excitement, a lot of drama to come in the final 5 episodes of the first season.
We're really proud of the show. They capture it as it went down, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm very proud, and I think it only strengthened our relationship as partners.
Well, you can check out the partners at their very best. The final 5 episodes of the first season of Holy Foley will be available on demand only on WWE Network immediately following the Royal Rumble. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. Until next time, for Mick, Noel, and Kathy, I'm Corey Graves. Thanks for hanging out on Holy Foley First Look.
Somebody has queued up my entrance music.
The WWE Universe's favorite family
God, I need it out of here.
is back.
People are really happy to see us.
Yeah, they like us.
It's the return of Holy Foley.
Noelle needs to wipe that smile off her face.
If anyone can teach Noelle the attitude, it's Enzo.
I didn't come here to step on toes. I came here to squash them like grapes.
This Sunday, immediately following Royal Rumble, only on WWE Network.
What just happened?
Next, a new WWE short-form series. Hits the road.
We don't drive. This is ridiculous.
For the first time ever,
Now you're riding with us.
join
Upgrade.
We got work to do.
the adventure,
Any fart jokes?
hilarity,
Nothing like, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
nonsense, drama,
Just assume that I'm gonna go be your little.
and the stories
I told Vince, I said, you're a gangster.
that only happen on the road. WWE Ride Along. Next. Only on WWE Network.
You can take the action to new heights with the WWE Crash Cage. Seth Rollins stole the title and raises the cage above the ring. Take aim and knock down the cage. Ooh, they crash through the ladder. Attach it to the ring for a double launch attack. Hit it just right and bring the cage crashing down. Raise the stakes and move the cage for a bigger challenge. It all comes down to this. First one to knock down the cage wins. It's a high-flying free-for-all. Oh, the cage crashes down. We have a new champion. With the WWE Crash Cage playset, figures each sold separately. This is the moment you've been waiting for. So let me hear you talk, text, and stream on our great big network that covers over 99% of Americans. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
It tastes good. Give my compliments to the chef. I'm out of order. You're out of order, and that's the bottom line. What? Is that funny? That's what starts it all.
Where did you bring me?
I'll go along with you.
Get ready for the wildlife.
Oh my God, what's going on?
I pulled him by the trunks into the turnbuckle, and his gear exploded.
The Nature Boy, the greatest airport story. Who can say no to that?
We're breaking down everything. SmackDown.
We don't get high, we stay high. That's right, that's all we do.
And I will take on anyone you put me up against.
You know what? I'm not backing down from anybody.
Huge nipples. Yes. And they were cold.
'Tis the season to be jolly.
Nailed it. This is where I want to be.
Welcome to the most exciting time of the year. Welcome to the road to WrestleMania. Welcome
Al new again, brother. And those are facts.
It's about proving that you are the best cruiserweight on the planet.
The future is now.
Ready to hit the wall, eh?
I gotta put the address.
Burn, let's go!
Dad, we had this talk before. I'm gonna put you in timeout.
Running wild like it's never ran before. I ain't through with you, not yet by a long shot.
Get ready for the wildlife.
Welcome to WWE Tough Enough.
It's the hardest hitting reality series
This is gut check time. This is going to be tougher than you can imagine.
ever.
Everybody in this locker room has paid their dues to be here.
Now, see how it all got started.
This was the easiest outside day you will have for the next 8 weeks.
Watch WWE Tough Enough anytime on demand. Do the previous contestants stack up against this season's new competitors? See for yourself anytime on demand.
I had the most amazing art teacher at Treadwell High School. Her name is Helen Stahl.
Jerry certainly was one of the best art students I had because he could do anything. He would always come out with something unusual, with something really magnificent that he'd done that made everybody look at it, you know.
I didn't realize it, but Miss Stahl had been saving like a portfolio of my art that I had been doing in her class. And she submitted my portfolio to the University of Memphis. At that time it was called Memphis State.
I said, this has got to be something someday, and that's the truth.
And I won a full tuition commercial art scholarship to go to the University of Memphis. Collegiate wrestling in Memphis was not big at all at that time. There wasn't even enough guys that went out for wrestling to even field a team. But the baseball coach doubled as a wrestling coach. And now, I'll never forget going into the first class one day, I had a wrestling mask. And I wore that into the class. And everybody got a big kick out of it, except, of course, the coach. He didn't think it was funny at all. After I would get through with my classes at the University of Memphis, I would come up there and be sitting there doing paintings, maybe painting outside on the side of a truck. And one day this young guy comes walking up. He's kind of stocky guy. And he introduced himself. His name was Jerry Vickers. And he said, I'm looking for Jackie Fargo. I'm a wrestler, and I just came down from Kansas City, and I was wanting to get in with him and, you know, in the local wrestling here. I said, how did you get started? And he said, oh, man, he said, it's easy to get started. There's actually some other wrestling that goes on other than the Memphis wrestling. I said, there's wrestling right across the bridge over in West Memphis, Arkansas, the little town. And I had not even heard of that.
It wasn't exactly a territory. It was what they called an outlaw organization, which was just guys would go there on their way up or on their way down.
Jerry Vickers said, why don't you come over with me and I'll let you meet the promoter over in West Memphis, and maybe he'll book you and I to wrestle. So Jerry Vickers and I are meeting this Aubrey Griffith for the first time. And Aubrey Griffith looks at me and said, yeah, you ever wrestled before? And I said, oh, yes, sir. And my face just started to flush and turn beet red because there's like a neon sign saying, I'm lying. I said, yes, sir, I've wrestled before. And he said, really? Where you wrestle? And I said, oh, down in Florida. He said, really? Who you wrestle for down there? And then, I don't know why or how, but I just blurted out. I said, well, I'm on a radio station over in Memphis, too, at night, and I thought maybe if I was wrestling over here, I could plug it on the radio show. And he said, you got a radio show? He said, all right, I'll put you and Jerry Vickers in the main event this Saturday night. So I said, oh my gosh, that was great. So all of a sudden, I'm not just starting out wrestling. I'm in the main event Saturday night in West Memphis, Arkansas with Jerry Vickers. I'd never had a match in my life. I'd never been in a ring in my life. I lied my way in. And the very next week, Jackie Fargo comes to me and says, look, kid, if I get you a match on Memphis TV, will you quit messing with those guys over there? Quit talking about them on the radio? I said, oh my gosh, yes.
Jackie came to me and said, you know this kid that's the artist that works for me? Why don't we try him on TV?
The promoter at the time was this guy named Nick Goulas. He would test young wrestlers to see if they really had staying power, to see if they really wanted to be in this business.
At first, he was kind of like just doing some jobs there, you know, just kind of being on the show like everybody else and yeah, getting knocked around. But I think all of a sudden they realized what a talent he really was.
He was terrific at bumps. His basic wrestling knowledge was advanced for the experience that he'd had. But what he did that really set him apart was that he connected with the fans.
So, you know, now we're talking about around 1974, and I'm still basically, if to somebody in the business, I'm considered new in the business, you know. I mean, there are a lot of guys in this business that are a lot bigger than me, a lot tougher than me, have a better physique than me. But Jerry Jarrett just saw something, I guess, in the personality or the charisma or whatever it was that he said, this is the guy.
Jackie Fargo was getting older, and I was in need as a booker and promoter of a single wrestling star.
Fargo was the guy that got Jarrett to push Lawler, and he put him over for the King of Memphis type thing.
Working with Jackie Fargo was like magic.
It was the program that passed the torch from Fargo to Lawler as the King of Memphis.
Bragging Jerry Lawler, who has called Jackie Fargo over the hill, who has promised to put Fargo into retirement.
I was talking about it just on an interview, and so I said, you know, Fargo, I'll admit, you've been the king of Memphis wrestling for a long, long time. But unfortunately, you're looking at the kid that's going to knock you off your throne. I thought of just a colorful phrase or something to throw into a promo about Jackie Fargo. Suddenly, this king gimmick was sticking. I'm leaving the ring, and the young kids that are bad guy fans at the time are slapped me on the back and said, hey, now you're the king. They remembered what I said on the interview.
He wasn't the king of wrestling when it all started. He was just the king of Memphis. And then he added that to it as he went along. Well, I'm the king everywhere.
I ran with it. I wore the crown everywhere. I had the robe on every time I went to the ring. Everybody was calling me, you know, I said, don't call me Jerry Lawler. You refer to me as the king.
This revolution started, it was almost like guerrilla warfare, you know, as opposed to a revolution.
He was like, okay, well, if you think you can go as good as the guys, here's the opportunity.
It was only 8 months ago, I stood in the middle of the ring announcing the Divas Revolution. And that has sparked an evolution. You will no longer be referred to as divas. You will simply be superstars.
Back then, when they all wanted hillsides.
Feathers are flying!
That was like a really deep hole to dig out of.
Me, Charlotte, and Becky being part of WrestleMania, we did this together, we grew together.
And literally, when we walked out of there, that's when the hashtag started trending.
This kind of match is why our women are co-main eventing tonight.
You have no idea how much better the division is going to get.
WWE 24, Women's Evolution. Watch anytime on demand, only on WWE Network.
That's right.
Watch out, boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking Smack.
People like our titles. They don't like the Raw titles. I don't watch Raw, so.
Hell yeah, we the best.
Talking Smack, this Tuesday immediately following 205 Live, only on WWE Network.
Believe that.
Dallas, Texas was the place to be for some tables, ladders, and chairs at American Airlines Arena. After a daring and exciting show, our WWE superstars are ready for the road ahead. Tag team partners Rhino and Heath Slater are prepared to hit the old dusty trail.
Ask my wife if we can go to strip club.
Hey, what happens on the road stays on the road.
Meanwhile, Daniel Bryan has a rough case of the sniffles while traveling with everyone's new favorite underdog, James Ellsworth.
You rented us an SUV. Do you know how environmentally conscious I am?
Oh, that's going to be a lot of gas.
These two cars must travel 1 hour and 45 minutes as they head to their final destination, Tyler, Texas. For the superstars of WWE, it's a road that never ends. Now witness their journey and their drive. Sit back and enjoy the ride. This is WWE Ride Along.
I apologize. I'm going to be blowing my nose through this entire ride. The hardest part about having a cold when I'm on the road is getting the snot out of my mustache. It's like a persistent problem. You don't have that problem.
I have a big snot, like, pet peeve. It's just nasty, like snot. Just the fall.
What if every time we're talking and I just have snot just dripping down here and I don't even
try
notice?
not to look over. I'll focus on the road.
Beauty and the man beast.
Buckle up, 10 and 2 all the way. Dare me to hit this cone?
Why not? I think it's. I think.
You want to get it? Let me get it.
Let me get it. No, turn the wheel the other way.
Is that better? Come on, it's just a cone.
Man, that's stuck. You're gonna break it. You're gonna break it. Oh,
there you go.
hey, good. Hey, we haven't even started this drive, and you already got us stuck up on a cone? Hot damn, man.
That was a good show tonight.
That was a good show.
What a kick! Spring forward! Elbow drop off the ladder! Wow! Oh! He puts Baron Corbin through the... Here we go! Whoa, there it is!
I don't envy those guys, though.
I guess that's the part of wrestling you don't miss. Because you were a wrestler, right? You like to grapple.
Yeah, you know, like, I wouldn't mind doing it. Like, I liked more like no DQ matches that felt like fights, right? Like, two guys really hate each other.
I think we had that tonight with Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles.
Like, it was incredible. Like, a 450 through a table, man, unbelievable. But I'm more like Terry Funk, like violence. Like, just
old school.
Yeah.
Rip the skin.
Yeah.
They're going to get some tag belts and have us sign them.
So we were the first ever SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions.
We had a good run. So far, we're the best tag.
Ever.
SmackDown.
The longest reigning.
85 days.
Wow! Rhino and Heath Slater are the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Orton hangs Slater out to dry.
Look at this. Oh, boy.
New Tag Team Champions. Think we'll get those titles back?
Hard work.
Dedication.
Right.
Courage.
And for you, a lot of whiskey.
I like vodka.
Hello. Hey, so I've got you on speakerphone, and you're also on a TV show called The Ride Along.
I've done that show before.
I know. And you called me from your ride along.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, thank you. You should be taking care of me.
Did you get some throat lozenges?
She calls them throat lozengers.
Ooh, that makes it sound worse.
James said that makes it sound worse. So yeah, I did get some throat lozenges.
Will you text me when you get to the hotel?
Yep, I'll text you when I get to the hotel, okay?
Okay. Bye, James. Have a good night.
Bye. Have a good night. night.
Okay, good night. I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye. Rules of the road. Call as soon as you get on a major freeway.
Check.
Rule number 2. Text when you get to the hotel, so they know you're safe.
Check.
You want to go to Chuck E. Cheese?
No, you need a kid to get in there.
Yeah, gone. I wish I had one of my 54 kids.
I'm glad they're not in the car.
You love them. Hey, I'll turn this car around right now if you don't hush. Quit yelling.
Don't sass me, boy.
Yeah.
So tell me about your independent career. What was your independent name?
I was Pretty Jimmy Dream from beautiful Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh.
And I had a tag team partner named Adam Ugly, and together our tag team name was Pretty Ugly.
Was Adam Ugly handsome?
Adam Ugly was kind of pudgy, like, he has a handsome face.
A good-looking face.
Yeah, so...
Adam Ugly has a good-looking face on him.
Yeah, he has a good-looking face on him.
Can you hit me with one of those Jimmy Dream promos right now?
This is Pretty Jimmy Dream from beautiful Baltimore, Maryland. And tonight, we're at TLC in Dallas, Texas. Now, AJ, everybody talks about how you're phenomenal. But Pretty Jimmy Dream, haha, spray my hair, holds 3 victories over the phenomenal AJ Styles. You're not going to hit my pretty face with a ladder. Pretty Jimmy Dream is going to be the one walking out with the WWE World Championship.
Yeah. I dig it.
Can you grab the wheel? I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap.
Sure.
I'm kidding. What if I identified as a flower right now? Because flowers are beautiful. Just like our friendship.
What flower would you be?
A pussy willow. Why are you laughing? It is a flower.
I know why I'm laughing. You know why I'm laughing.
It's like a stick and there's a...
So somebody was telling me today that you were a rosebud?
Yes, I was.
Oh, really? Who else were rosebuds?
I think Simon Gotch was a rosebud from the Blood Villains.
Yep. Okay.
Becky Lynch was a rosebud.
Becky Lynch was a rosebud? What?
Yeah, Becky Lynch was a rosebud.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that are on the main roster right now were rosebuds. Maybe that's the way to start your career.
Don't be eliminated. Be a rosebud.
JBL gave me a clothesline from hell one good time.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Clothesline from hell.
They beat my ass. They say, you know, here comes 17 other legends. I got the hell beat out of me that night. But it was one hell of a beating, though.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's just such a crazy story on how I got to WWE. You do the match with Strowman.
Any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance. I can only imagine what that may do for my career.
In my head, I think that's it. I got my one match in WWE. Next thing I know is everything goes crazy. Jericho asked me to be on his podcast. I see myself on all these memes. I get my own t-shirt.
That has your face on it.
Right. But I just hope it inspire people to just chase their dreams and just go for it and just never quit.
People always say to me, when did you really think that you made it? There was never a point where I was like, oh, I made it. But there was also never a point where I was like, I haven't made it, right? Like when I had my first match, I was like, wow, I had a match.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like when you main event WrestleMania and won the world title, didn't at that moment, you felt like you made it?
The impossible dream has become reality.
I never thought of it in terms of making it or not making it. It's weird. I would get this thing when I would come down to the ring, and I'd be coming down to the ring, and I'd be yesing. It was almost like I wasn't in my body, and I was above my body looking at me yesing and the whole arena yesing. and just like looking back in wonder and just being like, wow, this is nuts.
What was the longest drive you did by yourself?
I had to drive a U-Haul from West Virginia to Florida once, and that was like 10 hours.
I drove 10 hours to a show. I was there for 6 hours, worked the last match, the main event, and then got in my car and drove 10 hours home.
Hold on, did you like stop at a hotel during that 10 hours? Okay, I might have stopped at a hotel.
It's straight.
10 hours?
10 hours, babe. 10 hours.
I also kind of have to pee.
Oh, you have to use the bathroom? You want me to stop?
No, I have a rule. There's a rule of the road. You only stop to use the restroom when you have to get gas.
Okay, well, we're good on gas, but if you have to pee, I mean, I can pull over here.
No, that's against the rule of the road. I once drove from Philadelphia all the way to Washington State, made the entire trip in 46 hours, only stopped when I had to get gas, and then I was allowed to use the restroom.
Wow.
Mental toughness.
Really
My
good.
wife likes to say it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
When
I would have to agree with her.
We're in the middle of nowhere. This is how horror movies
Country
start.
roads, man. We're in Texas. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Right?
How does that go again?
That was horrible. That's a pretty house.
You've never had an alcoholic beverage in your entire life.
Never.
So I think what we should do is pull over, get one, take a pee break, and get back on the road.
You think that my first alcoholic beverage in my entire life is going to be while you and I are riding in the car together? You want a drink?
No, I just really want to use the bathroom and try to find any excuse so we can pull over.
No.
Ooh, there's a Buc-ee's. That's the gas station I was telling you about.
Come on, let's go to Buc-ee's.
What happened?
Dumb bitch.
All right, so now I'm out of napkins.
Oh, we can stop and get napkins. I can use the bathroom. You can use the bathroom. Everybody can be happy.
We're not
if
stopping.
we make one stop. Well, we've used a quarter tank. I think it's about
A quarter of a tank. No, and here's also the rules of the road. You can't get gas until you get to 3/4 of a tank.
This place is great.
You can do like Christmas shopping.
Dude, you can do anything you want here.
Thank you.
If you really want to.
Yeah, that snot's really starting to flow down my nose now.
Oh, God, back to this. Oh, just don't get any on me. That's all I ask.
Look, you get coolers. Daggone. Look at this.
Man, it's coming from both nostrils now.
Oh, God.
You can buy granite countertops.
Can you toss them out the window? Or I know you're... Yeah, you're...
You want me to litter?
You're right.
In the great state of Texas?
Ow!
You want to keep these napkins as a memento?
That's quite all right. This is not fun for me.
Don't mess with Texas, right? Right? Take care. Be good.
I'm gonna throw up. It's gonna happen, dude.
Yep. Okay. I'm sorry. That was too much.
Oh my God.
I love history.
I think of you as like someone like
Professor. I need a pipe.
You do.
Tip a canoe and Tyler too. What's that from?
I don't know. Probably some movie.
The campaign.
The movie, the campaign?
No. William Henry Harrison was a president, and then he caught pneumonia and died 1 month later.
Are you making up stuff?
No. Who was the longest serving president?
Well, it wasn't Bill Clinton.
No. He served 2 terms.
He only served 1 term.
No, 2.
Clinton?
Yeah, he was reelected in 96.
Yeah, but he got impeached, didn't he?
And when did West Virginia become a state?
In 1842.
No.
Yeah, Virginia and West Virginia was together as Virginia. They had a battle, and then they cut the state in half. You believe anything I just said?
I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you.
Why are we talking about history?
History's beautiful.
By the way, you pick on Kane all the time.
So for Kane's birthday, we were in Russia, and John said, "Hey man, it's Kane's birthday. You got something special lined up, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." So the match is over. We win the match, right? And so I get on the mic and I say, "Okay, everybody, guess what? It's Kane's birthday. We've got some surprises for him." I got him a Russian hat. A fan brought him another Russian hat, so now he had 2 Russian hats and he had his eyes closed. I asked him to stick his hand out because I had a present for him, right? I put a banana in his hand. I said, "Okay, keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed."
That's what I mean. You pick on Kane.
No. He still says to this day, best birthday he's ever had.
Yeah,
you can ask him.
Most memorable one, that's for sure.
Do you know where Terry Funk is from?
Yeah.
We met up with him after a show.
You met up with Terry Funk?
Yes, this is awesome. And to this bar restaurant, and then he gets hors d'oeuvres, and like he's telling everybody try it, but he's not telling people what it is, right? So I don't try it. But it was bull testicles. Yeah. Apparently it was really good. Some of the boys were like, "Hell, it's really good." Like it was breaded and everything.
It's like some of that Fear Factor.
No, like it's a delicacy, I guess.
Bull testicles.
Bull testicles. And that's no bull dung.
So what's the deal? I saw a picture with you and Gilbert together.
My buddy.
Gilbert's your buddy.
Yes, I've known Gilbert practically my whole life.
What?
He worked at my elementary school, like did maintenance.
Gilbert was friends with your uncle and then worked at your elementary
school. So when I was 9 years old, I guess I was in like the 5th grade. I had saw Dwayne Gill wrestle Owen Hart. The next day, Dwayne Gill was on top of a ladder in my school hanging a light bulb.
No way.
And I walk up to Dwayne, I said, "Mr. Dwayne, ain't you this big wrestling superstar? Like, what are you doing?" And Dwayne got off the ladder, put his arm on me. I'm 9 years old, and I still remember this years later, and said, "Kid, one day you'll understand." And so
that is unbelievable. You're like this generation's Dwayne Gill.
You think so?
Maybe bigger. I mean, you don't have the sparklers yet.
I ran for office.
On November 8th, Dearborn, make sure you vote for me, Terrence Guido Guerin, for your next state representative.
Dearborn, Michigan?
Dearborn, Michigan, baby. I knocked on 14,000 doors this summer. This one pretty young lady, she opened the door, and this is after we wrestled the Headbangers.
Oh, okay.
And I had the black eye, and then I had the stitches.
Yeah.
And I'm out knocking on doors, and this lady, she was kind of like hiding behind the door. I thought I looked like a total ruffian because of the black eye
and stitches.
I only had one person goes, "I don't want any, close it." I'm like, well, why'd you even? Open the fucking door. Like,
damn.
This is an early night, man.
Bro, I am so glad we're getting it at 12:30.
So are you excited? Your wife is pregnant. When's your baby due?
I'm not telling the people when my baby's due.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure Bree has already said it on social media.
Yeah, she seems like she likes to do things that you don't like to do, but like it's the, that's what makes
She
you guys
does
a
like
great
some
couple.
things that I don't really care about, but I think that's like women in general, right?
Right.
Like one time when we first moved in together in San Diego, she gets a call from Nicole, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Bree, you will not believe it." And Bree's like, "What?" She said, "Avril Lavigne just got engaged."
I love Avril Lavigne.
Right here. Never say goodbye.
Remember when you used to doing that mic check?
Never say goodbye. All right, get the f out of my car.
I might have 2 beds.
There you
If
go.
not, we can cuddle if you want.
No, that's okay.
Are you sure?
If we get too close as a tag team, it just, I don't think it'll work. Stupid is and stupid does.
All right, Forrest.
We're almost there. You'll finally get to use that bathroom you've been dying to use for so long.
Yeah, I might have won a little bit already.
All right.
All right, we're here.
We're here.
We made it.
We made it. You didn't kill us.
And I won't say if I actually held my urine or not.
All right, good. Let's leave it a mystery.
Yeah, we won't talk about it.
James, will you throw these away for me?
Yeah, sure. Come on, man. No. It's not the right thing to do.
You got everything?
Yes. Everything but your snot.
All right. Here, will you just hold this? I have to pick up my back pillow.
Ugh. My God.
On the next WWE Ride Along.
Start the drive.
I'm gonna.
Hey, guys. Can you feel this guy? Oh, we missed an exit. Sorry.
I did have long hair. I embrace the baldness.
Oh, God, I think we missed it again.
We were just waiting for him to take one sip. Just like,
I'm not ready. You got me off guard. I wasn't ready.
You're the f***ing worst.
Oh, boy.
Every woman for herself in San Antonio for the right to be called NXT Women's Champion.
Before their NXT Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way match at NXT TakeOver San Antonio, they sound off in an exclusive interview.
Only one woman can walk away as NXT Women's Champion.
NXT, next on WWE Network.
Everybody knows what's true. The boss is here in the WWE. You can bank on that.
Infamous star Gavin Stone became a fixture on the party scene.
Dad, you in trouble? A little. What kind? Kind where you can't leave the state until you've completed your community service hours.
Hey, do you know where the pastor's office is?
You're Gavin Stone.
You recognized me. Should I?
How'd you know my name?
It was printed at the top of your rap sheet. I'm Alan Richardson, pastor. So, what is it exactly that I'll be doing?
I've never acted before, but I'm willing to serve the Lord in whatever way you see fit.
You know, as gifted as I am with a mop, I'm 10 times better on stage. We ask that all cast members be Christians. I am one. I've had the passion of the Christ for a couple years now.
Is that it?
No. Hi, everybody. My name is Gavin Stone. I'm auditioning for the role of Jesus Christ. Superstar.
Let's just dive right in.
What if you drop a single spot on me?
That is the exact opposite of what Jesus was about.
Really?
Don't you pick up on that when you read the Gospels?
Well, yeah, you know, when I read the Gospels, I pick up on that a little bit. Great first rehearsal, and have some thoughts. Coffee, maybe?
No, thanks.
Okay. Don't sweat it.
She's just under a lot of stress, especially being a PK. Pastor's kid.
She's Alan's daughter?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry.
Wow.
I figured I might as well start diving into character.
Nice.
Blessings, peace be to you. This is my body, broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me.
I don't think he gets the story.
But isn't this why we do what we do?
Welcome to Cars for Single Moms. Here you go. Put that on. This is the best part.
Why don't you come over there?
No, since you know who did it.
Exactly.
We don't want the credit.
Hashtag words I've never said to my agent. Why do you care if I stay?
Because you said you would.
I was rude and selfish, and you guys gave me a second chance.
This is what we do.
I surrender. My way didn't work. I missed out on all this. Into your hands, I commit my spirit. I think he needs us as much as we need him. I don't know how this thing you have with God works exactly, but I like what it does. We really do believe in second chances here.
Available anytime on demand.
This is a true story, by the way. This is a legendary story.
WWE Network's hard-hitting interview series returns.
He said, well, I'll be right back. He took a right. I never saw him again for 20 years.
Old friends, new stories.
Any hurdle that life can throw at you to set you back, I've been there. I had no idea that this was going to be a history-making night.
I don't mean to bring up bad stuff.
No,
it's
hey,
just,
listen, man, I want this to be told. I love to get this out there.
Legends with JBL, with special guest Ron Simmons. Available anytime on demand, only on WWE Network.
Because of the extreme success of Bootios, we've decided to implement some new
training. Dude, you having kids drink a booty? All right. All together now. 1, 2, 3. Take a big old swig of your booty juice.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
Okay, let's.
That's unholy.
All right, Efren, you're thinking real hard on this. No, I can't even get it yet.
It's not because you get it's salty and it tastes like bars.
I like the New Day, but I'm not gonna eat their stuff if they're giving us gross stuff.
So listen up, kiddos. Uncle Dino's gonna give you your lesson of the week. Let me. Tell you
Pay attention.
how I
I'm
do
just shutting
things.
everybody. I'm sitting at the top of the mountain. This is my industry. This is my company.
My world.
And I'm just getting it
What
done.
goes
I don't care. You call me whatever you want.
Back around.
Nobody's stopping. I'm just shutting everybody.
No, go ahead.
Now, WWE World Champion Dean Ambrose faces his toughest audience yet on the Stone Cold Podcast. Watch anytime on demand. Only on WWE Network.
It's the ultimate challenge. Title for title. Whoa, it's going to be something else. Andre the Giant. Look at the size of that monster. I'm not a weasel.
Good God, Robert.
The American Dream Leos, live and in color. I was rowdy before rowdy was cool. Freaked out, freaked out. Ooh, yeah. Welcome to WrestleMania. It's so smoky. It's so smoky.
What is this?
It's KFC spicy, smoky, crispy Nashville hot chicken tenders. They're back. And I love them.
Nashville hot is chicken blasphemy.
No, it's not, Daddy. I'm young and I need to try new things. You should too.
Oh, no!
Try a KFC Nashville Hot Basket. It's finger-licking good.
A preview of what's in store. The NXT Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way. Tonight, we will see all 4 competitors in the same ring at the same time. Let's just hope Full Sail's big enough to contain it.
While the NXT Women's Championship picture continues to get more and more challenging heading into Saturday, here's a challenge that should be interesting for the rest of the division.
The following contest is a women's division match scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Dallas, Texas, Ember Moon!
Ember Moon unbeaten here on NXT since her arrival this past summer. But it was interesting last week. Liv Morgan challenging Ember Moon to a match looking to show the members of the Fatal 4-Way match where the competition truly lies in the division.
Liv Morgan also has the New Jersey State education, so she's not exactly the brightest star in the sky, though she is tough.
I agree. Yeah, she is tough, and I can respect her for wanting to step up to a challenge, especially the likes of Ember Moon.
And her opponent from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan!
There's something to be said for calling your shot and keeping on fighting. That's exactly what Liv Morgan has done. She even owned up to it last week. She's like, listen, I lasted 28 seconds with the champion, Asuka, but I'm willing to get out there and fight. I'm willing to get out there and prove I belong at the top of the heap.
Listen, if I lose that badly to a polar bear, that doesn't mean I'm going to go challenge a grizzly bear, Tom. Gotta know when to cut your losses. Quit while you're ahead.
Now, Liv Morgan believes this type of matchup could be a moment where she can shine a spotlight on her in the NXT Women's Division. So here we go, Ember Moon, one-on-one with Liv Morgan. And if you're Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, you've got a bigger matchup coming up this Saturday at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. The Fatal 4-Way against Asuka, but you have to have these 2 women in the back of your mind. Liv, an early cover and a kick out.
You're absolutely right. Competition continues to evolve, to heat up.
Another cover, out of 2.
In the women's division. There's a lot of parity, honestly, Tom. Other than, another inside cradle.
Shoulders down. Now shoulders down here on Ember Moon. Between both these women, no one can seem to gain the advantage here.
Round and round we go. Liv Morgan ends up on top.
Kick out by Moon.
As I was saying, so much parity within the NXT Women's Division. It seems like any match can go any way right now, with the exception of Asuka, who's reigned supreme at the top. Any woman on any given night can be victorious.
Not to discard this matchup here, but Percy looking forward to this Saturday at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Chances don't bode well for the champion. Doesn't even have to be involved in the final pinfall or submission to lose her championship. Now a cover by Morgan and a kick out.
Spectacular offense from Liv Morgan.
Morgan into the corner. Oh, face first off the turnbuckle. Oh, and Ember Moon.
Wow.
Rising with the knee.
Ember got in mind. One powerful fall-away slam from Ember. Cover.
Looking to close this thing out here against Liv Morgan. And Morgan out at 2.
Great transition. Right into submission. Crossface from Ember. Liv Morgan's in a world of trouble.
Aside from having a hard time breathing, you got that arm stretched out and again, possibly hyperextended.
You can see Ember's fingers locked right across the bridge of Liv's nose. You're right, Percy, cutting off the air supply. Not to mention,
hold on a second. Was looking to turn it into a pinfall attempt. There was Liv, but a great transition by Ember.
Not to mention the pressure on the shoulder, the left arm of Liv Morgan. I think Liv may begin to regret the decision to challenge Ember.
Liv Morgan's got to reach out to the bottom rope here if she wants to break up this hold here on NXT. Will she tap out to Ember Moon? Oh, cover here on Moon and a kick out.
Ember looking to readjust the pressure, and Liv was able to slide her hips to the side and escape. May have saved the match, but there had to be a great deal of damage done to the shoulder of Liv.
Oh, wow. Morgan takes down Ember Moon. Oh, and a bulldog there to Ember. And Liv Morgan is fired up here. She threw down the challenge against Moon.
This could pay off big time.
Oh!
The guillotine locked in.
I'm not used to seeing Ember Moon being dominated at all.
Covered here by Liv Morgan here in the guillotine.
Look at the power of Ember Moon to be able to support Liv Morgan's body weight, refusing to go down to the guillotine.
Oh! And there goes Morgan.
My God!
Sent her flying over the top.
Talk about power.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We saw it on display, and Ember able to support Liv, then tossed Liv like a rag doll to the outside.
Unbelievable. Actually, me and Ember worked out together a couple days ago. She can squat over 225 pounds.
Very impressive.
Oh! Taking down Liv Morgan. If you're Mr. Regal, you're paying very close attention to this match, regardless who the champion is after Saturday in San Antonio.
I don't know if Liv Morgan knows where she is, but I can tell you it's not where she wants to be. Ember Moon perched atop. Here we go. Bam!
Ember Moon eclipses Liv Morgan in this challenge.
She did it with a smile on her face.
Here is your winner, Ember Moon.
We have to give credit. It may not have been the smartest decision of Liv Morgan's career, but respect to her for laying out the challenge. But tonight, Ember Moon just too much.
Take a look back here at this matchup in the NXT Women's Division. This guillotine here was in deep from Liv Morgan, but the power from Ember Moon just launching Liv Morgan outside the ring.
Take a look right here. This is where Ember, full eclipse, bam!
Taking out Liv.
Ember Moon remains unbeaten. Two women who are friends, they've been tag team partners in the past. Great sportsmanship shown here tonight.
Liv may have came up short tonight, but I guarantee you she learned a thing or two from Ember Moon.
And guys, we are just 3 short days away from NXT TakeOver San Antonio. And it was announced last week that Andrade Cien Almas will do battle with another of NXT's rising stars in Roderick Strong. Now, over the past several weeks, the war of words between these two has escalated. And right now, our broadcast colleague, Kayla Braxton, is standing by with Andrade Cien Almas.
Andrade, after you defeated Oni Lorcan, you said Roderick Strong would be next. But when we mentioned this to Roderick Strong, he seemed totally unworried.
I'm worried. Si él no está preocupado, es su problema. Because next time I see him, I am going to kick him in his face. Le voy a patear.
Really? Is that right? I find that funny because I'm not a hard man
to find. And if you want to kick me in the face, why don't you kick me in the face right now? Just like I thought.
Well, Roderick, it seems that...
¡Eso te va a pasar! ¡Eso te va a pasar, perro! ¡Soy tu padre! ¡Soy el ídolo! Listen to me! ¡Soy el ídolo!
You can forget. But remember the Rumble. 30 men. One match.
'Cause we gon' blow your mind.
Winner headlines WrestleMania. Live from the San Antonio Alamo Dome. Remember the Rumble. WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Live this Sunday, only on WWE Network.
I want to give a special shout out to Ghost for their song Square Hammer off the EP Hope Star. It's one of the official theme songs for NXT TakeOver San Antonio, and it's available on iTunes and Spotify.
I cannot wait to Saturday. A lot of great matches shaping up. I can't wait to be there.
One of those, especially the NXT Tag Team titles, will be defended. DIY facing the undefeated Authors of Pain. Let's take an in-depth look at this match.
Gargano tearing away at the shoulder of Dash Wilder. Ciampa's got Dawson down into the armbar.
Well, the Revival gonna tap out here to DIY. Ciampa and Gargano are champions.
Here are your winners and new NXT Tag Team Champions, DIY!
This is everything that we've ever over 12 years. This is every time you're told you don't have it, you don't have enough charisma, you're not talented enough, you're not big enough, you're not tall enough. This tells every single one of them they're wrong.
What we're doing right now, that's the start of a legacy. I don't think you'll ever find a story like ours.
My work of pain. Chapter 1. The beginning.
Oh my God!
What the hell is going on?
That's Paul Ellering. This guy is synonymous with great tag team. He may be the greatest manager of all time. Who in the hell are these monsters?
The Authors of Pain.
These two are absolutely superhuman. Look at the size of these guys.
This is pure devastation.
Complete and utter destruction.
Chapter 2. The Rise.
16 teams, a single elimination tournament, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Bang! The Authors of Pain march to the finals. 16 teams beginning this tournament. The final two doing battle here tonight. Authors of Pain have won the Dusty Tag Team Classic.
Chapter 3. The Takeover.
Authors of Pain from behind on the champions.
We have a very good idea what the mission is.
Super Collider.
Their legacy foretold, a prophecy fulfilled, the final chapter complete.
Paul Ellering has led Akam and Razor to the promised land. And at TakeOver, it's up to Gargano and Ciampa to bring the fight if they plan on retaining their NXT Tag Team Championship. Will the final chapter of Ellering's book of pain finally be written? Or can DIY do the seemingly impossible and take down the authors of pain? We'll find out this Saturday at TakeOver San Antonio.
Oh, yeah. It's time to party with my favorite NXT superstar. It's time for No Way Jose.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, weighing 245 pounds. No Way Jose.
NXT, and right now the fiesta is loose inside of Full Sail.
Party continues.
No Way Jose ready to throw down here on NXT.
And his opponent, from Honolulu, Hawaii, weighing 250 pounds, Kona Reeves!
Well, this last week, we saw Kona Reeves backstage with No Way Jose. Kona accused No Way Jose of not helping him out. Back in Toronto, it was Kona Reeves and Rich Swann who got attacked by Sanity, and No Way Jose would help out his former tag team partner, Rich Swann.
Listen, in his defense, Kona's been under a lot of stress lately. He's busy saving people on buses from Dennis Hopper.
I used to go, I just got that. Thank you.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Kona Reeves, at the same time, has proved that he kind of has a little bit of a screw loose, Percy. What do you make of Kona Reeves?
I completely agree. He may be a little bit off, but I tell you what, he better get his mind right as he opposes my man right here, No Way Jose. Jose knows how to have a good time, but when he steps in the ring and that bell rings, it's all business.
So Percy, Kona believes that he and No Way Jose are really, really good friends, when in fact I know for a fact that they are just coworkers or acquaintances.
Well, I tell you what, one thing I know is that there are no friends in this business. Everybody wants to be at the top. Everybody wants to get their hands on the championship.
Hey.
Phillips, you would know the first thing about having friends, but let me tell you this. Kona Reeves is the kind of guy that create a fake profile online and pick up somebody. That's the kind of, this guy's, I don't think crazy is the problem. I think creepy is more accurate.
I'd agree with that. No Way Jose, 245 pounds. As much fun as he likes to have, he can really bring it.
I feel like Kona Reeves has a profile picture of an egg and will send me messages to correct my commentary. He's that kind of dude.
Take it out, Kona. Whoa. Winding up with a big right hand.
I think Kona had enough for a second. He's take a breather.
I don't even have words for that.
Oh, right to the throat.
That was effective. Hopefully Kona never has to embarrass himself that badly in public, but right now Kona is embarrassing No Way Jose.
So much for the friendship that Reeves thought there was. Oh. Every superstar trying to make their mark with TakeOver San Antonio this Saturday. Oh, up on the shoulders here, Reeves. Oh,
running Samoan drop. What power.
Cover here on No Way Jose. Kick out at 2. He's right back on top of Jose.
Why does he keep licking his hands?
I haven't.
What is that about?
I'm here to scrap. I'm here to scrap. Let's go for a ride.
Oh, look at this,
Doing a
man.
little surfing. Kelly Slater's jealous right now.
Oh, all kinds of disrespect.
Elbow to the spine. Here's a cover and out at 1.5.
I don't honestly know if Kelly Slater's still relevant. He's the only pro surfer
No,
I
he's still
know.
very good.
Okay.
And we want to take a quick moment to remind you that the voting for the 2016 NXT Year-End Awards is now open. Head over to Twitter now and vote for your favorites and check out WWE.com/NXT Awards for all of the details.
No good right here, man. From the pulling, tearing the abs to the stretching of the shoulder, this is not the spot you want to be in.
Raking the flesh of No Way Jose. Nastiness from Kona Reeves.
No Way Jose trying to feel it. Ooh, it takes out Kona Reeves.
Jose with a little power of his own, able to escape and create some space.
Oh, a boot right on the jaw there. Jose's got an opportunity in this match. Oh, and Kona Reeves missed big time. Called a wipeout?
Let's go with that, Tom. That was all right.
Oh.
Left jab from Jose. We've seen Jose throw hands.
Oh, okay.
Not too many do it better.
Taking down Kona Reeves.
Oh, right.
Flapjack there from Jose.
Jose gonna keep this steam going.
Winding it up.
And the pitch.
Oh. Shot to the midsection there from Reeves. Uh-oh.
Oh. Good night.
Pop-up punch. And that is it for Kona Reeves.
Here is your winner, No Way Jose!
Well, aloha means hello, goodbye, and I love you. I think in this case it means goodbye to Kona Reeves.
Copy that. Let's get this fiesta going back.
And the fiesta just getting warmed up again here on NXT. Let's take it back here to the closing moments of this match. No Way Jose looking for a big knockout blow, but boom, right there in the gut. Kona Reeves thought he had an opportunity.
Momentary counter, but No Way Jose looking to keep the fiesta rolling. Bang! Right from the side of the jaw of Reeves.
No Way Jose, congratulations on your victory here tonight. What?
Hello, I'm Elias Sampson. He was a dancing man, but a man with no soul. No soul. A life like puppets. I bet those strings take a toll.
Oh, no. It's a shame. Hey. It's a shame that you spent all year writing that because that absolutely sucked. Oh, I got a better song. Oh, yeah. That's true. Hey. Let's teach him another song to a little bit more of a beat, which that last one sucks or whatever. How about Just Drift? Oh wait, just drift. 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 Oh wait, just drift.
No way, Jose fending off Elias Sampson here tonight on NXT, and the party just keeps on rolling regardless of the tune.
Well, it's going to be a different kind of party later tonight on NXT when all four competitors in Saturday's Fatal 4-Way match face off for the first time. What will happen when Asuka shares the ring with Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, and Nikki Cross?
But when we come back, the leader of Sanity will be in action. With just 3 days remaining until his match at TakeOver against Ty Dillinger, Eric Young will be looking to send a message to the Perfect 10.
This is the face that runs the... I am the champ that runs the camp. We can blow your mind.
John Cena, AJ Styles, the WWE Championship match.
The match that everybody's gonna talk about.
From the San Antonio Alamo Dome, remember the Rumble.
We want to thank Memphis May Fire for their song, This Light I Hold, featuring Jacoby Shaddix. One of the official theme songs for NXT TakeOver San Antonio. It's from the album This Light I Hold, available now on iTunes and Spotify.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Melbourne, Australia, weighing 265 pounds, Chris Atkins!
Chris Atkins ready for action here. This is a big superstar, Percy. What do you make of Atkins?
Man, he's a specimen for sure. All right, let's see what kind of physicality he can bring to the ring.
I'm curious to see what Atkins is all about in the ring. I've seen him train at the WWE Performance Center. Incredible athlete. I thought he was a pretty nice guy. I got along fairly well with him. He's got a big opportunity in front of him tonight.
That's something for you to say. You don't like anybody.
No, I just don't like you, Watson.
I don't believe it.
Sanity's ranks have gone back up to 4 with the addition of another sick, twisted individual, but we want to take you and show you some footage courtesy of WWE.com. Ty Dillinger responding to Eric Young.
Ty, you'll be facing Eric Young at NXT TakeOver San Antonio, but at this point we know that Eric Young does not travel alone.
No, he doesn't travel alone, does he? It's always Eric Young and his pack of mercenaries. Always Eric Young and Sanity. Where he goes, they follow. And you see what they can do. Good. Eric Young will be in San Antonio. He'll be at TakeOver. Bring the whole family. Bring everybody. Because I'm going to knock them all down one by damn one.
Here's Eric Young, who is looking to force Ty Dillinger to be a part of Sanity. Didn't make an offer, made a demand, but instead, Eric Young, Nikki Cross, and Alexander Wolf found a new face to their group in Killian Dane.
The addition of Killian Dane makes Sanity even more dangerous than we knew them to be. The big man is an absolute maniac and under the control of Eric Young.
Now, Chris Atkins going to have to worry about Eric Young here as well as the rest of Sanity. And Eric Young this Saturday at NXT TakeOver San Antonio has got an opportunity to make a statement to the rest of the NXT universe that things will be done, quote, our way.
Atkins is a shining example of what makes Sanity so dangerous. Just being at ringside is a distraction. The inexperience of Atkins could prove costly in short order. Eric Young like a pit bull just on the attack.
Eric going to work early, man.
Taken down by Atkins.
Atkins needs to try to stay the course.
And Young right up in the face here of Atkins. The officials got to get Young off him.
Yeah, Young better be careful not to get himself disqualified, but a right hand will do.
One crazy thing about Sanity is perhaps that Eric Young may be the most tactical, the most measured of all four of them.
The one crazy thing. We can sit here for the rest of the show and name crazy things. Bunch of diabolical maniacs.
Eric Young with the 10s. A message for Ty Dillinger.
In my mind, Atkins just doesn't have the experience just yet to be able to compete with an Eric Young.
I agree with you, Percy, but you have to ask yourself, does Ty Dillinger have the mental capacity to stay strong against Sanity? Look at this. Look at the size of Atkins just being lifted from his feet. My goodness.
Eric Young. Oh, man.
Directly to his back.
Elbow right to the spine. Eric Young's talked about making the right choices, going down the right path, and the right friends.
No, there's no way Young's going to be able to do this to Atkins. No way.
Whoa! I can tell you from personal experience, he's going to be feeling that tomorrow.
Young gets the win.
More than tomorrow, maybe all of next week.
Do you think Ty Dillinger's regret? His decision to turn down Eric Young and Sanity yet?
So Dillinger is asked, what's next for me? And he's come so close, but Sanity might be an unstoppable obstacle here. Let's take a look at this. Right there to the back. Eric Young just taking down Atkins, a much larger opponent.
An incredible power on display. Bang! Driving the much larger Atkins down.
Eric Young looks ready for takeover. I can tell you one. One thing, the perfect 10 had better be even more ready.
Choices! Choices! Dillinger, you made your choice. And it was the wrong one.
Oh no, look out! Oh! On demand, the monstrosity. Known as Killian Dane, crushing Chris Atkins. I know Dillinger's going to put his brave face on, but how can you not look at this group and be terrified?
Dillinger faces Eric Young this Saturday at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Dillinger is going to have to be perfect once again.
In my mind, they're going to be even more impossible to stop now.
But the big question heading into TakeOver is whether Bobby Roode can stop the NXT Championship reign of Shinsuke Nakamura. This Saturday, the King of Strong Style looks to remain atop his throne despite the ever-present threat of a glorious removal at the hands of Bobby Roode. And coming up, we'll take an in-depth look at the biggest money match in NXT history next.